Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Nedbank Business Watch. Thank you for staying with us. We now take a look at today's market analysis with Nedbank's Toba Gamete. Very good afternoon, Toba. Thank you for coming through. So, let's take a look at markets today. What is happening? Let's start in South Africa. I do understand that the rand is under pressure today. What's happening there?
Thank you, Lulu, and good afternoon to your viewers as well. So today we have the parliamentary vote on the fiscal framework, so that is part of the budget process in South Africa.
Okay.
And so far, what we've been seeing in the media and statements that are coming out from the parties that are involved, is that they haven't reached consensus in terms of the contents of the budget. We have heard from the ANC that they are proceeding with the budget vote, and they are adamant that they will get majority vote with alliance from smaller parties. And we've also seen the DA come out to say they are not voting for the budget. So they are not part of or not agreeing with what the ANC has put forward on the table. So what then this does is that it weighs on the rand and the South African economy, because it speaks to cracks now in the GNU. And markets are sort of pro the GNU, especially pro the DA. So if then there is cracks and talks of divorce, if I can use that word in this instance, between members of the GNU and the two main parties, then that creates that sort of uncertainty that we are seeing, and thus weighing heavily on the rand. As you've seen on the screen, it's read across all the major currencies, the dollar, the euro, and the pound.
Yeah. So just before we get into what's happening in the US, which party are the markets favoring in South Africa?
So it's the DA. Markets are lean more towards the DA.
Okay.
So with this friction between the DA and the ANC, then it sort of then creates the uncertainty that we're seeing.
All right. So another one that we're anticipating today is a press conference by the President, Donald Trump, today. What can we expect from Donald Trump today?
Yeah, so global markets are also, waiting with bated breath to hear what President Trump is going to say this evening in his address. It has been weeks of tariff talks and trade war. So markets are just waiting for clarity to hear what exactly the contents of those policy changes are, what tariffs are being imposed or being introduced, and what countries or states are getting those tariffs as well. So that has sort of made markets jittery and investors sort of cautious today in trading, and they have sort of waited to see where to put their money, where to, so decisions are not really being made today, if I can put it like that.
There's not much activities as we wait for the press conference.
Yes. So there's just a lot of uncertainty at the moment.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
It's green only.
So that's our equities. They are green, but as I've said, it's this cautious trading. Today, the S&P 500 green, the FTSE is green, led by your Rolls-Royce, your rental kill. Those are doing quite well today. And then the JSE All Share as well is also up. Due to, I think they had a good first 3 months of the year. I think yesterday the JSE All Share recorded a record high, or 2 month rather, record high. And the contributors to that were precious metal companies. As we've seen, prices of precious metals in the first quarter of the year going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just moving on to commodities before we end the segment, Toba. What's happening with gold? I saw that it reached a record high yesterday. What's happening today?
Yeah, so gold yesterday reached a high of about 3,148, but it has sort of subdued and currently at 3,114.08 per ounce. You know, as you can see, the drop is 0.05%, so very, very minimal. It goes back to the cautious trading that we're seeing in the global market today. But we do expect that gold is likely to even go higher than the levels that we've seen, as you know, gold is a safe haven option for investors. So in times of uncertainty and in times of geopolitical tensions and trade wars, investors will sort of then look for options that are, you know, safer for them to put their money in.
Okay.
So gold then tends to be one of those investment options. So we would expect that gold is probably going to go higher, but these are record highs that we are seeing at the moment. In particular, yesterday or last session's number of 3,148.
Okay. And I see that Brent crude oil is also slightly up today.
Yes, so crude oil is slightly up, trading at US dollar 78 per barrel. It is sort of trading within a region that, I would say, is stable for the past few days, but it is up today, one due to Russia imposing restrictions on some of its, on two actually, of their pipeline transportation. So that sort of then hinders on supply. But would expect that going forward with talks that are coming out of OPEC Plus increasing their production or output, that will see the price of oil going down.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you, Toba, for that analysis today. It is 2 minutes before 3 o'clock. We've come to the end of our program today. This was Nedbank Business Watch, the first episode this month. Thank you for tuning in. But do contact Nedbank Eswatini for more details on the savings account. To visit their branches countrywide, and also contact them on their social media platforms. They're available on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at exactly 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch was brought to you by Nedbank.
Way up high, in the bluest sky, behind a cloud that's white and fluffy, lies a land
completely puffy.
It's a squishy, squashy,
Cuddly, snuggly, bouncy place to stay.
where we run and jump
Tumble and bump
in a cushiony kind of way. Cushion Kids.
No water. Phew! Hot day. Grumps and Bubs are having a cool time though.
Pillow peppers. Hope they grow.
Oh, really wummy, Gumpy.
They're very hard to grow, you know, Bubs. They need sun and water and the right amount of quiet,
Oh, quiet.
which is very hard to get around here.
Oh, Grumpy. Oh,